This is Fred Beck from Fred Exciting. Today I'm very lucky to joined by, once again, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. So how are you, Stephen? What's going on with you, mate?
It's going good, man. Glad to be on with you, man. Getting ready for this fight coming up July 10th and ready to rock.
We'll talk about that fight in a minute, but you got quite an awesome background behind you, Stephen. What do you got back there?
Oh, man. So this is for my YouTube channel that I have. I have a podcast that me and my brother do. We've had our YouTube channel for probably just about 2 years. And we're right at 330,000 subscribers. So this is kind of like our backdrop, for our podcast that we do.
Yeah, I mean, 300,000 in what, 3 years? That's very sick, I still got the same background we had last time. I got this photo, yeah. I think it's a Christmas Muhammad Ali photo. I need to get up soon. But the thing is, I'm lacking some. I need to buy some blue and MMA posters or something. It's all boxing related up there. But I see you got 2 samurai swords in the background there. Are those real?
They are real. Yeah, there's a bunch of samurai swords we have. They are very real. I've got night vision goggles right here. A lot of stuff that the fans have sent me out. Of course, my NMF right there as well. I got a Supra because I have a Supra, so it's cool to have that car. And of course, our YouTube plaque that we've had for getting our 100,000 subscribers, and we literally got that in a few months actually of getting the YouTube channel, which is pretty cool. And of course, this guy, Naruto, I'm a big anime fan.
You can certainly tell. I remember, I think it was Anthony Smith, a UFC fighter, who had his home raided one time, and blimey, you're poor and home invasive. Someone trying to raid your house with those samurai swords back there. I was on YouTube the other day, and I was on Joe Rogan's channel, but of course he doesn't upload his full podcast on there anymore. But he had a couple of clips on there, and there's a view, and you said that he was talking about the time when you fought Andy Pettis. I hate to touch on it because it's kind of a negative thing, but there's a thing you said that kind of surprised me. You said it was a relief getting knocked out by Andy Pettis. What did you kind of mean by that?
Well, I went so long without, never getting knocked out, since I was 15 years old. So for almost 20 years, I went, came out of a combat, sport, usually, and when you're in a combat sport, it's kind of bound to happen, right? When you've been in it long enough. And I've never been knocked out. So it's always been in the back of my head, is this the time? Is this going to happen? What does it feel like? And after it happened, it was a relief because now I can just go out there and fight. I'm not afraid of that anymore because I know what that feels like. Right. So without having to worry about getting knocked out, stepping out there, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not worried about it anymore because I've been there.
Oh, okay. I kind of understand that point actually. And normally, or some of those worried people you are when going to fight your parents. But when you did get knocked out, your dad seemed to find it. What I heard was your dad seemed to kind of mock you, kind of find it quite hilarious.
Yeah, man, that's the way he is, dude. I remember right after the fight, I was in the hospital, getting CAT scans and getting MRIs on my brain to make sure I didn't have any concussions or brain bleeds or anything like that. My dad decided to go live on Facebook Live. And I guess it was a way of telling everybody that I was okay, all my fans and stuff, but he was bashing, man. It was funny. That's how my family is. They don't let up on you at all. So they still bring it up, we're out there playing around or whatever, or I'm aggravating one of them. They're like, at least I didn't get knocked out, and they just pick on me all the time. That's my family.
That's probably the best. You don't really want you getting knocked out as like a touchy subject at the end of the day. You want to kind of, that's the best thing to kind of get over something, just laugh about it and get on. Anyway, maybe some more positive things. Last time I saw you, you were unable to train. I think you had some sort of injury. I can't remember which injury it was, but now you're back training for Gilbert Burns. And so how's it going at Upstate Karate? Because you finally got a fight book out and you've had a while out of the octagon as well. How's the training going?
It feels great, man. It really does. I never stopped training here at Upstate Karate. I just got done training actually about 5 minutes ago before I got on with you. Got a good, hour and a half training session in, but it's great, man. And that, it's good to have a fight. I'm excited about stepping out there in the octagon and doing it for the fans, but also for the fans that are going to be there live. So they're opening up the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. It's going to be on the Conor McGregor card. So one of the biggest cards of the year. Everybody always asks me, how do you get on these dope cards, man? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Just get on these cards. It's great. But I'm excited about, doing it again in front of live fans. Gilbert Burns is very, very tough. He's been out there with the best. He's up and coming from the 155 division, been doing work in the 170 division. He's got great jiu-jitsu, great striking ability. So he could take the fight, standing up or even to the ground. But wherever the fight goes, I'm going to be ready for it.
I remember last time we had fans in the UFC, I think they've had about 2 events where they had fans, and it gives everyone such a boost. I think it especially gives the fighters a massive boost. As you say, Gilbert Burns is a specialist in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Do you find that you have to focus your camp more on defending, on working on your jiu-jitsu, or do you kind of go out as usual and follow the game plan? How does the camp work this time around, since you're fighting a jiu-jitsu specialist?
Well, yeah, most of the guys that I face are high-level jiu-jitsu guys. Like when I fought Rory McDonald, everybody that I fight at some point in time, they're going to want to try and take me to the ground. So I really haven't changed a whole lot. It's funny because, with the style that I have, like you say, like I said, everybody's trying to get you to the ground. So it's pretty much easier for me because I prepare for everybody the same way. I know he's a high-level jiu-jitsu practitioner, but every fight starts standing up, right? I've got some high-level guys coming in, helping me get ready. Carlos Machado, Ryan Hall, who's fighting on the same card, has been here. He's coming back in a few weeks. So I got some of the best jiu-jitsu guys coming in, helping me get ready for this camp. But nah, man, I'm not worried about it at all. I want to go out there and do my thing.
I know everyone's looking forward to seeing you back in the octagon, the exciting fights to watch. And so Gilbert fought for the belt last time against Kamaru Usman. And what a fight that was. I think Gilbert knocked him down. I think it was in the first round. And Kamaru stopped him in the third. What are your thoughts on Gilbert's performance against Kamaru, who's the champ of the division?
Kamaru's tough, man. He's really tough, and he's getting better every day, as you can tell. Before, he was just taking people down and ground and pounding them out and just controlling them. Now, he's knocking guys out, right? He TKO'd Colby Covington. He knocked out Gilbert Burns in the first round with the jab, knocks out one of the best strikers in the division, George Masvidal. The guy is improving everywhere, and that's what makes it exciting for me. That's why I'm excited to hopefully with a good win over Gilbert Burns will send me up for that next fight, set me up for that title fight against Kamaru Usman.
Loads of people are saying, Usman's kind of boring. He's kind of got the kind of George St. Pierre style of not trying to finish the fight. Then you look at his last few performances, he's getting stoppages against guys who'd never been stopped before in their career. So this fight with Gilbert, how do you really see it playing out? What's your prediction?
Well, I know at some point I've got the striking on him. Yes, he's got the power to knock you out. And, obviously with the fight that I had with Anthony Pettis after I was beating him and then get knocked out, you always got to be aware of that. Number 2, I know he's got high-level jiu-jitsu, so at some point he's going to try and take me down. So my takedown defense and the ability for me to get back up to my feet is going to be crucial. So that's something that I've been working on a lot. I don't like to predict anything, any knockouts. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I always visualize my hand being raised after every fight. And that's what's visualized in my head, my hands being raised.
I'm sure that every fighter goes in the octagon, visualizes the hands being raised, because no fighter would ever go into a situation, unless you're like a journeyman who's come to lose. But saying you're now ranked 5th in the world, do you think a win here will make you get a title shot, or do you think it has to be another fight and another win? Or do you think this win here against Gilbert gets you that title shot you want?
I think this one with Gilbert definitely does. He's ranked number 2, who's the last, one of the last guys to fight for the title. I think this is it. I'm ranked number 4 in the welterweight division. I know that I can go up there and beat this guy, and his title shot after that. I don't know who else they would give me. The only person they would give me would be Colby, and they're saying he's fighting for the title next. So they've got to give me this fight.
You mentioned there you and Colby. I'm sure he's actually a really nice guy in person. But that'd be probably polar opposites, wouldn't it? Because everyone knows you as the nice guy, and then everyone knows him as kind of the brash guy. The build-up would be quite entertaining. As you mentioned earlier, you're on the Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, names wrong. I got my names wrong around. Poirier McGregor 3 undercard. How do you see that fight going? Because The first one is at 145. Now it's 155. How do you see this fight going?
I think definitely more exciting. Nobody has to think about, cutting any weight. You know what I mean? They can just go out there and they'll be at 100%. I think definitely Dustin Poirier has the role of this fight just because he's coming off of the win, TKOing him, I think in the second round. So he's definitely coming in with the confidence for sure. I think the person that really has to do most of the work, who has to do most of the changing, is going to be Conor McGregor. He's got to get back to his karate style of fighting, not the boxing style, which he's been doing a lot of before his last fight. So hopefully he's an intelligent guy. Hopefully he gets back at his karate movement, not taking that damage with those low calf kicks, and go out there. But I do believe that Conor still has the ability to go out there and beat Dustin Poirier.
I mean, that's what makes it so exciting. No one really knows who's going to win. I remember a few years ago that Conor McGregor was like, oh, I see stiffness in the 155 division. But in that fight, when he's got his hands, not even really the boxer stance is there, he's got his hands kind of up here in quite a kind of stiff stance. I don't take too much of your time up, but I just want to get your thoughts on the kind of the YouTuber boxing MMA situation, because I know Dana's pretty much against it, but and Trilla's kind of, I don't know how do I put this in a polite way? It's kind of weird how they do things at Trilla. It's kind of weird. But what are your thoughts on all kind of
it is definitely weird stuff? Well, when you look at both promotions, the UFC, when you look at the UFC, it's professional. Everything, the commentating, the athletes, it's all professional. When I, watched the Trilla promotion with, Jake Paul fighting Ben Askren and all that stuff, I don't think it didn't seem professional to me. The commentating, they were just kind of saying what they wanted to say. I'm pretty sure they were on certain substances while they were doing the commentating. It sounded like, it was more of a concert with some fights, right? So to me, it wasn't that exciting. It wasn't that entertaining to me. The commentating wasn't fun listening to because you weren't really getting a whole lot of, feedback from them. So it just kind of looks like, a circus kind of, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't very professionally done to me. That's just the way I looked at it. UFC is very professional. You're getting a lot of the commentating. You're learning what they're doing out there and what the commentators are expecting or trying to figure out what their opponents, what their game plan is. It's just done professionally. So I think that's the difference between the two. And if Trilla is if they want to make it big in here, they're going to have to go start really going more towards that professional level.
I hate to use this word again. It's kind of cliche, but they're polar opposites, UFC and Trilla. There's one more thing I want to get your thoughts on. I'm really sorry. You want to fight Usman, of course. He's a champion. Everyone wants to have the belt. But his manager, Abdi Abdelaziz, I don't get his name wrong, but he's been hinting that Usman might fight Jake Paul in boxing. Do you think that will happen? And if so, what are your thoughts on that? Because I can't believe that's going to happen. Can you?
I don't think it's going to happen, man. I think everybody's trying to jump on that bandwagon now because they want to make the millions, right? They want to make that money. And at this point, Kamaru Usman, he's defended the title, I don't know how many times at this point, and he wants that big fight. He wants that big money, which is understandable. So, everybody's looking for it. Even Tyron Woodley's, everybody's looking for it. You got, Ngannou wanting to fight Tyson Fury for those because, in that boxing arena, they're making millions of dollars. And in the UFC, a lot of people think that we're underpaid and things like that, that they want to, we should be making the money that they're making. Right. So, everybody wants those fights, even though it sounds silly. And I don't think these YouTubers should have that chance to even step out there with any of these guys because they haven't been to where these guys have been, right? They haven't earned the right to do so. So that's just me as an athlete. Now, as a YouTuber, those guys are making moves, man. They're making money too. So hats off to the Paul boys.
The only side I feel kind of it is, which is good for the YouTuber movement, is that it kind of makes make sure that because like you were saying there, you got your YouTube channel, and that must be 300,000 is loads of subscribers on YouTube, and it will promote you so much having that channel, because you'll gain even more fans to combat sport. That's the only kind of positive I see about it. But I don't take too much of your time, Stephen. I've already taken a lot today. All right, Stephen, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. It's always good to catch up with you. And
Man,
where can people find you on social media at? Where can people find your channel at?
yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Wonderboy MMA, Facebook and YouTube at Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Man, I just appreciate you having me on again, man. We got to do it again. Hopefully right before or after the fight would be awesome, buddy.
Yeah, sure. Right before and right after, you know, no, you can do two there. All right, Stephen, it's great talking to you again, mate. Thank you for that, mate.
Thanks, buddy. You have a good one, okay?